Please turn yourself in.
It was just after 6 p.m. on a Tuesday evening when the quiet of a Covington neighborhood was shattered. A 911 call had come in, urgent, panicked. Someone had been shot. Deputies from the Newton County Sheriff's Office rushed to the scene on Avery Drive, just off a quiet residential street lined with modest homes and trimmed lawns. Inside one of those homes, they found 41-year-old David Gay. He was unresponsive, his body lying motionless in a room where a family once gathered for dinners and quiet nights. He had been shot, dead on the scene. And the person authorities believe pulled the trigger? A 16-year-old boy. His stepson, Jayden Daniel. What happened inside that house just moments before the shooting remains unclear. But what authorities do know is this: Jayden didn't stick around. Moments after the gunfire, he took off, driving away in David Gay's 2016 Cadillac Escalade. By the time police arrived, he was gone. The manhunt had begun. Less than an hour later, that black Escalade was discovered, abandoned at Denny Dobbs Park, a small wooded recreation area just a few miles away. The vehicle sat empty near the edge of the park. No sign of Jayden. No footprints. No witnesses. Just silence. At just 16 years old, Jayden Daniel had vanished. The Newton County Sheriff's Office quickly put out an alert. Jayden was considered armed and dangerous. No one knew where he might go next, or what his mental state could be. As the investigation began to take shape, questions started flooding in from the community. Why would a teenager kill his stepfather? Was there an argument? A history of conflict? Or was this something deeper, something broken that finally snapped? As law enforcement searched wooded areas and interviewed friends and family, the answers weren't coming fast enough. But someone was ready to talk. Just hours after losing her husband, Kenethia Gay, David Gay's wife, and Jayden's mother, stood in front of news cameras. Her voice shaking. Her eyes swollen from crying. She was holding on to the only thing she had left.
Please turn yourself in. This is the ultimate breaking for me. And I cannot. I said I couldn't lose another child. And I lost my husband. And now I really can't lose another child. David loved you. He loved me, he loved Kennedy, and he loved his family. He loved like you guys were his own. So if you see this, or if anybody sees this who has any information or who can contact Jayden, please let him know that I love him.
The plea was raw, real, and it revealed a deeper pain behind this story, one that hasn't fully come into focus yet. Because this wasn't the first time this family has been shattered by gun violence. That part of the story is still to come. For now, a man is dead. A teenager is on the run. And a mother is begging for the only thing she has left: her son's life. As this case continues to develop, questions remain unanswered. What led to the shooting? The investigation is still very active. Law enforcement hasn't released a motive. And until Jayden is found, nothing about this story is over. If you know anything about where Jayden Daniel might be, contact the Newton County Sheriff's Office. Don't approach him. Just call 911. This story is far from finished. We'll be watching closely. Because this is just the beginning. Before the gunshot. Before the flashing lights on Avery Drive. Before the Escalade was abandoned at the edge of Denny Dobbs Park, there was something else. Another loss. Another tragedy. Another young life, taken by gun violence. Jayden Daniel's mother, Kenethia Gay, knows this pain far too well. Because less than a year before her husband was killed, her oldest son, 19-year-old Kendarius Spear, was gunned down. It happened in June of last year. Kendarius was a college student. A standout athlete. A former high school basketball star. Smart. Driven. Focused. He was attending Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He had his whole life ahead of him. And just like that, it was over. He was shot and killed at an apartment complex in Lithonia, Georgia. Another senseless act of violence. Another mother left grieving. Another younger brother left trying to understand why. That younger brother was Jayden. No one can truly know what happens inside someone's mind after a loss like that. Especially a teenager. A sibling. A boy watching his hero disappear without warning. People grieve in different ways. Some go silent. Some get angry. Others just carry it until it spills over. Whether that pain is connected to what happened 2 days ago, no one knows for sure. But what we do know is this: Kenethia Gay is now a mother who has lost one son to gun violence, and may now lose another to the justice system, or worse. She said it herself. This is the ultimate breaking point for me. 1 year. 2 losses. 1 to the grave. 1 on the run. That's the reality of what she's facing. And it's not just the heartbreak. It's the silence. The unanswered questions. The not knowing where her son is, or what state of mind he's in. Is Jayden scared? Is he hiding? Is he safe? Or is something much worse waiting just around the corner? As of now, authorities have not found him. He hasn't contacted anyone, at least not publicly. Investigators are urging anyone with information to come forward. The SUV he used to flee the scene gave them a location. But since then, there's been nothing. No confirmed sightings. No confirmed communication. Just the echo of a family's pain, on the news, across social media, and now, in the hearts of thousands who are watching this story unfold. And still, no one knows why. No one knows what happened in that house. Why did a 16-year-old boy, just a child by many standards, turn a gun on the man who raised him? Why did David Gay, a man described as loving and devoted, end up the victim of a crime that shattered everything? David Gay was 41 years old. A husband. A father figure. A man trying, like so many others, to hold his family together. He wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't known to the world. But to his family, he was everything. His wife, Kenethia, spoke softly about him in the hours after his death. Her voice broken, but full of love. David loved you, she said, speaking directly to her missing son. He loved me. He loved Kennedy. He loved his family. He loved like you guys were his own. That line stuck. Because David wasn't Jayden's biological father, but he stepped into that role without hesitation. He showed up. Provided. Supported. And for reasons we still don't understand, he died at the hands of the very person he helped raise. What happened inside that house remains a mystery. Neighbors say the home on Avery Drive didn't stand out. Nothing about it suggested danger or dysfunction. It was just another family, living day to day. Until it wasn't. And now, there's a hole in that neighborhood. A silence where a man once stood. A man who cooked, laughed, gave rides, cheered from the sidelines. A man who didn't make headlines until he died. His death wasn't just violent, it was confusing. Because everyone wants answers. But the only person who might be able to explain what happened is still gone. Jayden Daniel hasn't been found. Not yet. And every day that passes, more people start asking the same question: where is he? Is he hiding in fear? On the run with help? Or completely alone, somewhere out there, watching the news, hearing his mother's voice crack on camera, and not knowing what to do next? There's no clear trail. Just the Escalade he left behind, and the weight of everything that's come crashing down since. For the community of Covington, this isn't just another headline. This is close to home. A boy they knew. A family they saw. A man they respected. Gone. With no warning. No justice. And no peace. This story is still raw. Still happening. Nothing is settled. Nothing is clear. But one thing is certain. David Gay didn't deserve to die. And now, the people who loved him are left with grief, confusion, and a plea that still echoes across Georgia. Please, Jayden, turn yourself in before it's too late.